Welcome back to True Venge Chronicles, and hello to new viewers too. Today's episode is called, My Boss Said I Was Easily Replaceable, the Client Disagreed. In Auckland, New Zealand, my boss tried to crush me in front of a high-paying client. He mocked my work, smiled at my fear, and promised he could swap me out in a day. But I had receipts, a clean timeline, and one client who cared about results. If you like smart revenge, calm comebacks, and a clear win, you cannot miss this. Sit down, relax, and enjoy the story of the day.
My name is Jonah Keane. I am 33 and I live in Auckland, New Zealand. I work for a tech consulting company called Northbridge Systems. We build software that helps other companies run faster and waste less. I am a delivery lead, which means I guide the team and own the result. My boss is Martin Kessler, our delivery director. He is 46, always neat, always smiling like he is on a stage. When a project wins, Martin takes the credit. When it slips, he points at someone else. Our client was Pacific Coast Freight, a shipping company with warehouses all over New Zealand. Their head of operations was Lena Sato, 39, calm voice, sharp eyes, and a habit of writing everything down. Lena did not like drama. She liked facts. We were building a tracking system for their main warehouse in South Auckland. If we won the rollout, we would get 2 more sites and a long contract. On Monday at 9 a.m., Martin called a steering meeting in the glass boardroom. My team was there, plus Lena on video, plus our sales lead, Grant Halloway, 41, who loved big promises. Tessa Rourke, 31, sat beside Martin. She was his favourite coordinator and his loudest echo. Martin opened with a grin. "Let's be honest," he said. "If someone can't keep up, we replace them." Then he looked right at me. "Jonah, you are easily replaceable." The room went silent. Grant stared at his laptop. Tessa smirked. 2 junior developers looked down at their notes. Lena's pen stopped moving. Martin kept going. "We can swap Jonah out and still hit the date. The client pays for outcomes, not excuses." My mouth went dry, but I stayed calm. "Understood," I said. "Let's talk about the real risks and the plan." Martin tilted his head. "Fine, Jonah, explain why we are behind." "Here is the truth. We were behind because Martin forced a shortcut. 3 weeks earlier, I warned him the warehouse scanners needed a security layer. Without it, the system could fail during peak shifts. Martin replied in writing, "Do not scare the client. Ship it as is. We can patch later." Now that shortcut was biting us. I shared my screen and pointed to the timeline. 2 change requests were approved late, I said. That shifted testing. Tessa jumped in. "Jonah overthinks," she said. "He keeps raising worries instead of moving." Martin nodded. "We need doers." Lena spoke. "Jonah, what do you need to finish safely?" "Time for load testing," I said, "and approval to add the security layer. If we skip it, the scanners may drop connections when hundreds log in at once." Martin laughed. "That is fear talking. Lena, we go live on the original date." I looked at Lena. "I can deliver on time if we accept the risk, but I will not pretend the risk is not real." Martin leaned back. "See? Replaceable mindset. If Jonah can't align, we find someone who will." The meeting ended with Martin promising Lena a clean launch. He told the room, "Tessa will run the ship now. Jonah will support." That was his way of cutting me without using the word. I had worked at Northbridge for 5 years. I started as a junior tester and learned every part of our tools. I helped build the first version of this system, and I trained half the team. Martin joined 2 years ago and acted like he invented everything. He praised me in private when he needed me. then cut me down in public to look strong. This time, Lena had seen it. After the call, Martin walked beside me down the hall. His smile was gone. "You embarrassed me," he said. "You made me look weak. I told the truth," I answered. "You will do what I say," he said. "Hand your notes to Tessa today. Train someone to cover you tomorrow. If you push back, I tell HR you are not a team player." Tessa waited at my desk. "Send me your tracker," she said. "All of it." I sent it. I also saved copies in a private folder. Nikhil Baines, 28, our data analyst, rolled his chair over when Martin walked away. Nikhil was quiet, but he saw everything. "He's setting you up," he whispered. "I know," I said, and my heart pounded. I searched my email and pulled up the warning I sent Martin. His reply was clear. I also found a message from Tessa that said, "Martin hates red flags. Please remove your risk note from the weekly report." At 3:50 p.m., a new invite hit my calendar. Emergency steering call, 4:30 p.m. Attendees included Lena, Martin, Grant, and our CEO, Ronan Pike, 52, who only joined when something was on fire. HR was invited too. Martin walked past my desk and said, "Be ready. This is where we decide if you stay useful." At 4:25, Tessa returned with a paper. "Sign this," she said. "It says you handed over the project." I read it. It claimed I delayed testing and missed deadlines. "I'm not signing a lie," I said. Her eyes hardened. "Then you're guilty." "No," I said. "I'm careful." She rushed to Martin's office. At 4:29, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number flashed on the screen. It said, "Jonah, do not let Martin speak for you. Bring your proof." Quick pause. Friend, are you enjoying the story so far? Be honest. Right now, my boss has called me replaceable, pushed me out of my own project, and is about to face the client and the CEO. What is your opinion on Martin's behavior and the way Tessa backs him up? And if you were in my shoes at this exact moment, what would you do next? Stay quiet to keep your job, or speak up and risk everything? Tell me your move in the comments. Your advice might help someone who feels trapped at work and thinks they have no power left. Also, how is True Venge Chronicles treating you so far? If you like these real-feeling revenge stories, please hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop a like to help the channel reach more people, and comment where you are watching from today. All right, let's jump back in. At 4:30, the video call opened. Lena was on screen, sitting in a bright office with a warehouse map behind her. Ronan Pike joined 2 seconds later, his face serious. Elaine Mercer from HR joined too, along with Grant and Martin. Martin spoke first, smooth as butter. "Ronan, thanks for joining. I wanted to address a performance issue that is affecting the client." He turned the camera a little, so I was only half in frame, like I was an afterthought. "Jonah has struggled to keep pace. I moved Tessa into the lead role so we can protect the timeline." Grant nodded fast, like a toy that only knew one motion. "We promised Pacific Coast Freight a clean launch," he said. "We can't miss this." Lena did not look at Martin. She looked at me. "Jonah, is that true? Are you struggling?" Martin's eyes flashed, but he kept smiling. He tried to cut in, but Lena raised a hand. "Let him answer." I took a slow breath. "No," I said. "I am not struggling to work. I am struggling with a shortcut Martin forced 3 weeks ago." Elaine's eyebrows lifted. Ronan leaned closer to his screen. Martin laughed, too loud. "Here we go. More excuses." I did not raise my voice. "It's not an excuse. It's a written decision." I warned Martin that we needed a security layer for the scanner logins. He told me to ship without it. Martin's smile tightened. That is not the topic. It is the topic, Lena said, still calm. Because our warehouse runs 20 hours a day. If the scanners drop, we lose money in minutes. Ronan spoke for the first time. Jonah, do you have proof of what you're saying? Yes, I said. I can share my screen. Martin leaned forward. Ronan, this is not appropriate. Jonah is being emotional. I clicked share. I showed the email chain. I scrolled to Martin's reply. Do not scare the client. Ship it as is. We can patch later. Silence hit the call like a wall. Grant's mouth fell open. Elaine stared at the screen. Ronan's face stayed still, but his eyes sharpened. Martin cleared his throat. That email is out of context. Lena spoke. Context is simple. Jonah raised a risk. You told him to hide it. Did you inform us? Martin tried to sound offended. We handle risks internally all the time. Clients don't need every technical detail. Lena's voice stayed even, but it cut. A risk that can stop our warehouse is not a detail. Well, into woes, Elaine asked, Martin, why was this removed from the weekly report? Tessa, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke. I only edited the report because Jonah's wording was alarming. I opened another message. Tessa wrote this, I said, and I pasted it into the chat. Martin hates red flags. Please remove your risk note. Tessa went pale. She looked off camera, like she was staring at Martin. Ronan's voice turned cold. Martin, did you instruct staff to remove risk notes? Martin's smile was gone now. We were managing client confidence, he said. Sales was worried. Grant can confirm. Grant blinked hard. I just wanted the client to feel safe, he said. Martin said it was fine. Lena leaned closer to her camera. I don't want to feel safe. I want to be safe. Martin's voice rose. This is turning into a trial. It became a trial when you called me replaceable in front of the client, I said. The words hung there. Even I felt them land. Elaine looked up. Martin, did you say that? Martin's face went stiff. It was a figure of speech. Lena's pen moved again. It was disrespect, and it made me question the culture of your company. Ronan sat back. Lena, what do you need to move forward? Lena did not hesitate. 2 things. 1, the security layer must be added. 2, Jonah must remain the delivery lead. If you remove him, I will recommend we pause the contract. Martin shot up in his chair. That's absurd. He's one person. Lena's eyes stayed on him. He is the person who tells the truth. That is not easy to replace. My chest felt tight, but it was not fear now. It was relief. Ronan nodded once. Understood. Martin, you and I will talk after this call. Jonah, stay on the project. Lena, we will deliver the security layer and a revised test plan by tomorrow noon. Martin's jaw worked like he was chewing glass. Ronan, we can't let staff threaten leadership. Ronan did not blink. No one is threatening you, Martin. We are correcting a problem. The call ended quickly after that. Lena's screen went dark. Grant left without a word. Elaine stayed for a second. Jonah, Elaine said, please forward me the full email chain and any other messages related to risk reporting. I will, I said. Then she left too. When the call closed, Martin stormed out of the boardroom and into the hall. You set me up, he hissed. I told the truth, I said again. He stepped close, invading my space. You think Lena saved you? You think Ronan will choose you over me? I have been here longer. I know where the bodies are. I kept my voice low. Back away. Tessa hovered behind him like a shadow, eyes wet. Martin jabbed a finger toward my chest. You are finished. I will make sure you never work in this city again. I looked him in the eye. If you could do that, you would not need to bully people in meetings. He stared like he wanted to swing. Then he turned and walked away fast. Nikhil found me by the stairwell. What happened? He asked. I showed them, I said. I showed the proof. Nikhil let out a breath. Good. But be careful. Martin will strike back. He was right. 10 minutes later, my laptop locked me out. A red message popped up. Access revoked. Contact administrator. My work phone then rang. It was our IT admin, Drew Langford, 35, blunt. Jonah, did you upset someone? Drew asked. My access just got cut, I said. Drew sighed. Martin emailed me. Said you were being removed for misconduct. That's false, I said. Ronan told me to stay on the project. Send me that in writing, Drew replied. I can't fight director orders without cover. I opened Teams and messaged Ronan's assistant, asking for confirmation. My hands shook a little now, not from fear of being wrong, but from the speed of the fight. A reply came 5 minutes later. Jonah, Ronan confirms you remain delivery lead. Keep working. We will address access shortly. I forwarded it to Drew. Within a minute, my laptop unlocked. I knew Martin would not stop, so I did something I should have done years ago. I started building a full folder of everything. Emails, meeting notes, test logs, and chat messages. I labelled it Timeline. At 7:10 p.m, as I was packing up, Lena emailed me directly. Subject line, tomorrow on site. She wrote, Jonah, please come to our South Auckland warehouse at 8 a.m. I want you to speak to my executive team. Martin is not invited. My throat went dry. Executive team meant power. It also meant Martin would know soon. Then another message arrived. It was from the same unknown number as before. It said, I am the one who texted you. My name is Mara Teague. I work for Lena. We recorded the meeting where Martin called you replaceable. Bring your evidence. We are done with bullies. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. When I got to my car, my phone rang again. Martin's name flashed. I answered because I wanted to hear what he would try next. His voice was calm now, too calm. Jonah, he said, I heard you have a meeting at the client site tomorrow. How would you know that? I asked. He chuckled. You forget how networks work. Listen carefully. If you go in there and talk, you will regret it. If you stay home, we can make this go away. I gripped the steering wheel. No, I said. You made it this way. He paused, then said, You are replaceable. Remember that. I ended the call. I drove home and barely slept, because I knew the next morning would decide everything today. Part 2. The next morning, Tuesday, I reached Pacific Coast Freight's South Auckland warehouse at 7:40 a.m. The air smelled like diesel and rain. Forklifts beeped as they moved pallets into long rows. A sign on the gate read, Safety first, but I had a feeling my day would be anything but safe. Lena Sato met me at reception. Up close, she looked even more focused. She wore a navy jacket, no jewellery, and a simple watch. Jonah, she said, thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting me, I replied. She led me through a hallway lined with photos of ships and cranes. Before we talk with my executives, I need you to know something, Lena said. She opened her tablet and tapped play. I heard Martin's voice from yesterday, loud and proud. Jonah, you are easily replaceable. My cheeks burned, But Lena's face stayed calm. "We record steering calls," she said. "For accuracy. You saved it," I said. "I did," she answered. "Disrespect changes decisions. I don't reward it." Is it? In 2000, on the drive down, I replayed the word replaceable in my head. I also replayed what I did the night before. I emailed Elaine the full chain, plus screenshots, plus chat logs. I saved copies to a USB stick and to a cloud folder. Nikhil stayed late to export system logs that proved my test runs were real. Drew in IT sent a note that Martin tried to revoke my access twice after the call. Each attempt was time-stamped. I printed everything at a late-night shop near my apartment, then stapled it into a packet. I did not want speeches. I wanted facts you could hold in your hand. If Martin tried to twist the story, the paper would not twist with him. We entered a conference room with 4 people waiting. Lena introduced them one by one. "Peter Moana," she said, pointing to a broad man in his 52nds, with strong hands and kind eyes. "Warehouse manager. He lives on this floor." Peter nodded at me. "If the scanners fail, my people get blamed," he said. "So I want the truth." Next was Hannah Greer, 44, the finance director. Hannah wore a grey suit and had a look that could freeze water. "I care about cost," she said, "but I care more about downtime." Beside her sat Mara Teague, the woman from the text. She was 55, the company's legal counsel, with short silver hair and a calm, tired smile. "I'm here to listen," Mara said, "and to make sure everyone remembers what they say." Finally, Lena pointed to a younger man with a laptop open. "That's Kaurin Garter, 29, our internal systems lead. He will handle the handoff once this goes live." I swallowed. This was not a casual chat. This was a test. Lena sat and folded her hands. "Jonah, tell us where we are, and tell us what you need. No sales talk. No pride." I opened my folder on my laptop. "We are close," I said. "The core tracking works. The risk is login load. The fix is the security layer and 2 days of load testing in your warehouse network, not in our office lab." Hannah asked, "How much will that cost us?" "Less than 1 hour of a stalled dock," Peter said before I could answer. I gave Hannah a number anyway, simple and clear. "It adds $12,000 in extra work time. It prevents a failure that could cost far more." Lena nodded. "Good. Now tell me what happened inside Northbridge. Why did Martin hide the risk?" I chose my words. "He wanted the launch date to look perfect. He feared any delay would upset you. He also wanted control. When people feel control slipping, they sometimes attack." Mara wrote something down. "And you have documentation?" "Yes," I said, and I slid printed copies across the table. Emails, the report edits, and the timeline of approvals. Clear dates. Clear names. Cowrie scanned the pages fast. "This is clean," he said. "I can follow it." For the first time in 2 days, I felt steady. Then Lena's phone buzzed. She glanced at it and her eyes narrowed. "Of course," she said. "What is it?" Peter asked. Lena turned her screen toward me. It was an email from Martin, sent at 7:32 a.m. It read, "Pacific Coast Freak Team, Jonah Keane has been removed from the project for misconduct. Please route all questions to Tessa Rourke." My stomach dropped. Lena looked at me. "Did you know he sent this?" "No," I said. "He is trying to cut me out." 80 is. Hannah leaned back. "That email is serious." Mara's voice stayed calm. "It is also risky for him, if false." Lena stood up. "Jonah, keep presenting. Mara, please draft a reply. We will not be pushed by an ego." I kept going. I showed the revised plan, the test steps, the success checks, and the backup plan if any scanner dropped. Peter asked practical questions. Cowrie asked technical ones. I answered each one without fluff. At 9:05, as I was explaining the final rollout checklist, the door opened. Martin Kessler walked in like he owned the building. Behind him was Tessa. Behind her was Grant. And behind them was Ronan Pike, our CEO, with Elaine Mercer from HR. My heart slammed once, hard. Martin smiled at the room. "Sorry to interrupt," he said. "I'm here to correct a situation." He looked at Lena. "Jonah is not authorized to speak for Northbridge. He's been removed. He's easily replaceable, and we have already replaced him." The room went quiet. Then Lena pointed to the chair beside me. "Sit down, Martin," she said. Her voice was calm, but it carried like steel. "We are in the middle of hearing facts," she added, "and right now, the only person who has been useful is Jonah." Martin's smile twitched. Ronan's face stayed blank. Elaine opened a notebook, and I realized the real fight was about to start. Hold on a second, because this is the turning point. Are you still with me? And are you enjoying this story? We are now face to face with my boss inside the client's warehouse, and he is trying to erase me in real time. What do you think Lena should do here? Let him control the room, or shut him down and protect her team? And if you were me, would you stay calm and let your work speak? Or would you call out Martin's lies on the spot? Tell me in the comments, because I read them all. Your next message might inspire someone today. If True Venge Chronicles has been giving you chills, please subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Type your city and country so I can see where our viewers are watching from, and tap like to support the channel. Now, back to the showdown. Martin stayed standing, but Lena did not look up at him like he was important. She looked at Ronan instead. "Ronan," Lena said, "your director just emailed me a false claim about misconduct. Then he walked into my building and repeated it." Ronan nodded once. "I saw the email," he said. "We are here to sort it out." Martin turned to Ronan, acting hurt. "This is exactly what I warned you about. Jonah poisons clients. He makes everything about risk so he can look like a hero. I kept my hands on the table. I did not jump in. I wanted Lena to speak because the title was true. The client was the one who disagreed." Lena tapped her tablet again. "Before we debate feelings," she said, "let's play the recording." She pressed play. The room filled with Martin's voice from yesterday. "Jonah, you are easily replaceable. We can swap him out and still hit the date." Then my own voice followed, calm. "I will not lie about the risk." Lena paused the audio. "That is the tone of your leadership," she said to Ronan. "Now here are the facts." She slid my printed packet toward him. "Jonah warned your team about a real load risk. Martin told him to hide it. The report was edited, and when Jonah spoke up, Martin tried to remove him." Elaine from HR flipped through the pages. Her face tightened with each line. Martin shook his head fast. "This is a setup. Jonah and Lena are teaming up." Mara, the legal counsel, finally spoke. "Mr. Kessler, you walked into a client meeting you were not invited to. You repeated a damaging claim with no evidence. That is not a setup. That is your choice." Grant tried to save Martin. "We were protecting the contract," he said. "We can't scare clients." Hayner turned to him. "If you think truth scares us, you don't know our business." Peter pointed at the warehouse floor through the glass wall. "Those people out there work hard," he said. "If your system fails, they get blamed. So I want the person who tells the truth, not the person who sells dreams." Ronan looked at me. "Jonah, can you deliver the security layer and testing without blowing the full schedule?" Yes, I said. If we start today, I already built the plan. Martin scoffed. He's bluffing. Cowrie opened his laptop. He's not, Cowrie said. He just walked us through the steps. It's solid. Ronan turned back to Lena. What do you want from Northbridge? Lena's answer was simple. Name Jonah as delivery lead in writing. Give him direct authority for this rollout. And remove Martin from this account. Martin's face went white. You can't do that, he snapped. I run delivery. Lena stayed calm. No, you supervise delivery, but you do not own my contract. Mara added, if you refuse, we will pause work and review other vendors. I will also note in our files that your director attempted to mislead us. That was the moment the room shifted. Everyone felt it. The power was not with Martin anymore. Ronan took a breath. Martin, he said, step outside with Elaine. Now. Martin looked around for support. Tessa stared at the table. Grant rubbed his forehead. No one spoke for Martin. He forced a laugh. Ronan, you can't be serious. Ronan stood. I am. Martin walked out, stiff and angry. Elaine followed. The door shut. Lena looked at me. Jonah, keep going, she said. Show us the demo. My hands moved on their own. I plugged into the screen and ran the system. I simulated 300 logins using a test tool Nikhil had helped me set up. The dashboard stayed green. The scanners in Peter's hand kept syncing. Cowrie nodded as he watched the logs. Hannah asked, can you prove this will stay stable on our busiest day? I answered, we will run the same test during your peak shift tomorrow morning. If it holds, then it holds. Peter grinned. That's what I like. Test it where it hurts. We worked for 2 hours. No speeches, just work. At 11:30, Ronan came back in. Elaine was with him. Martin was not. Ronan's face was tight. Martin has been placed on leave, he said, effective immediately. Tessa gasped. Grant's eyes widened. Ronan raised a hand. This is not only about today. Elaine has gathered reports from other teams. There is a pattern of bullying, hiding risks, and blaming staff. We will investigate fully. Lena nodded once. Good. Ronan looked at me. Jonah, you are the delivery lead for this rollout. You report directly to me for the next 4 weeks. Do you accept? I felt like I could finally breathe. Yes, I said. That same day, Lena sent a message to every stakeholder on the contract. She copied Ronan, Elaine, Grant, Martin, and even our finance team. The subject line read, Delivery Lead Confirmation. In plain words, she wrote that I would lead the rollout, that all decisions would go through me, and that any attempt to bypass me would be treated as a breach. She also wrote one sentence that made my hands shake. Jonah has earned my trust through honesty and competence. When Martin read that, he could not twist the story anymore. It was written, dated, and public for everyone. Tessa spoke, voice small. What about me? Elaine replied. You will cooperate with the review. After that, we will decide next steps. Tessa looked like she wanted to argue, but she didn't. Grant cleared his throat. Ronan, the sales team. Ronan cut him off. Sales will stop promising dates without delivery approval. That ends today. Grant went quiet. Lena stood and held out her hand to me. Jonah, thank you, she said. Not for fighting, for being honest. I shook her hand. Thank you for listening, I said. That afternoon I stayed on site with Cowrie and Peter. We installed the security layer, ran early tests, and mapped every scanner zone. I called Nikhil and told him, your log tool just saved my job. He laughed. No, your spine saved your job. By Friday, we ran the peak shift test. The system held. No drops, no chaos. Peter clapped me on the shoulder and said, "That's the smoothest morning I've had in months." On Monday, Lena signed the next 2 site rollouts. 2 weeks later, Elaine called me into a small meeting room at Northbridge. Ronan was there too. Elaine said, "The investigation is complete. Martin Kessler is terminated for misconduct. He also tried to change records after the steering call, which made it worse." Ronan added, "He will not be giving references from us." I did not cheer. I just felt calm, like a storm had finally passed. Elaine looked at me. "Jonah, you also need to know this. Martin's file shows he blocked 3 of your promotion requests. Not because you lacked skill, but because he feared losing control." My hands clenched under the table. "So he kept me small on purpose," I said. Ronan nodded. "Yes, and I'm fixing that." He slid a folder across the table. "Senior Delivery Manager. Pay increase. Bonus tied to the Pacific Coast expansion. And one more thing." He smiled for the first time in days. "You will help build a new policy. No one gets called replaceable in front of a client again." I opened the folder and saw the offer. It was real. Clear numbers, clear title, clear respect. I signed. A month later, I ran into Martin at a cafe in the city. He looked less polished, like his suit had lost its magic. He saw me and tried to smile. "Jonah," he said, "so you won." "I didn't win," I replied. "The client won. The team won. Truth won," he scoffed. "You think you're special now?" I looked at him and said the line he once used on me. "Martin, you're replaceable." His face tightened. "You're a smug little." I held up my phone, not to threaten him, but to end the talk. "I'm busy," I said. "I have a rollout meeting," and I walked away. 1 year later, Pacific Coast Freight is still our client. The system runs across 3 sites. Northbridge grew, but in a healthier way. Nikhil is now a lead analyst. Ben and Suri both got raises. Tessa moved to a different department under closer supervision. As for me, I don't bend my back to please bullies anymore. I speak in facts. I document. I do the work. And if anyone ever tells me I'm easily replaceable, I remember Lena's words. Results are not replaceable. Honesty is not replaceable. And neither is self-respect. Lesson 1. Document everything. When Martin tried to blame me, dated emails and edited reports protected me. Save decisions, risks, and approvals in one folder. Do it before trouble starts, not after. Write in clear words. Tell us in the comments if you do this at work starting this week. Lesson 2. Stay calm and speak in facts. I did not shout. I named the risk, showed the plan, and let the truth stand. When someone tries to shame you, don't trade insults, trade clarity. Practice this with co-workers, friends, and family. It lowers drama and raises respect every day. Lesson 3. Choose allies who value character. Lena backed me because I was honest, not because I was loud. If workplace rewards bullies, plan your move and protect yourself. What would you do in my shoes? Comment your answer today. Thanks for staying till the end, and see you soon.
Before you go, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next upload. Then head to the playlists section and binge the best episodes. Family revenge, boss revenge, courtroom twists, and quiet comeback stories. If this story hit you, share it with a friend who needs courage. See you in the next True Venge Chronicles. Like the video to boost it in the algorithm and help more viewers find these emotional, suspense-filled revenge tales. Your support keeps this channel growing, week after week, story after story together. Goodbye.